Well, it's time for Media Watch, and James Creedon is here with us in the studio. Hi there, James.
Hi, Laura.
You're taking us back to French politics. François Fillon, of course, made a big apology yesterday to the French people for what appeared to be wrongdoing, all centering on his wife. We found out that she was paid a salary, she did work for him, and we've learned today, there are allegations that she didn't only get a salary, she was also paid severance pay for when she lost the alleged work that she did.
That's right. So he thought this was perhaps behind him and that he could now move on with his campaign and get back to arguing in favour of his programme, which is a programme of austerity cuts, putting France back on the rails, as he says, literally. In any case, that's not the case.
Sorting out the economy.
Sorting out the economy. And as this headline
I don't want to be talking about his wife anymore.
He's sick of it. He wants to move on. But never two without three, says this headline here, which is an expression basically meaning it ain't over yet. It never rains, but it pours, I suppose you could translate it as. And the Canard Echaîné, which you can see screen grabbed here in their front page, which will come out tomorrow, their revelations are that the police inquiry hasn't really put together proof that she did actually concretely do work in her job as a parliamentary assistant, but they have found proof that she got severance pay, and they say it was over 40,000 euros in severance pay. In any case, further indications or further details from that Canard Echaîné expose tomorrow say that investigators now think that they have enough elements that to pursue this case in the courts to indict François Fillon. Now, François Fillon has said himself that if he is indicted, he will step to one side. But he said yesterday in the press conference that his case is rock solid. He's provided evidence, concrete evidence to the investigators that his wife did work, and that he is going to pursue the presidential campaign. He's going to remain a candidate, and that he has absolutely no fear whatsoever that this is all behind him.
A lot
now.
hinges on that police investigation, then, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Now, the thing is, a crucial point here is being made in a somewhat satirical way by this satirical account. And it's saying, well, what was the reason for Penelope Fillon's severance pay? Because severance pay indicates that the person was sort of fired or let go. Made redundant, in fact. So was it because was it absenteeism? Was it incompetence? Etc., etc. So this is a Twitter user
no longer
being
needed.
Well, this is a Twitter user sort of being ironic. Here's where it's difficult for François Fillon to break it down. Yesterday he said that in 2013 he decided that the ethics in French politics had evolved and had changed. People no longer accepted this sort of behaviour, employing your family members. So he decided
to. A lot of people outside France are saying, look, why would you employ your wife? Why would you employ your children? It seems very odd. But the truth is, it is legal in France, and a lot of people are doing it.
A lot of people are doing it, and a lot of people have done it. So his argument is that this was the way things were done for a long, long time. I understood in 2013 that the French people no longer liked these sort of practices, so I stopped it. Well, if that's the case, and if it was a decision that was taken sort of consciously to stop this practice, then why the requirement for severance pay?
Right.
Again, so we're seeing another example of behaviour that was probably legal, strictly speaking, but actually certainly bending the rules and not morally or ethically respecting what French people would expect of their politicians in this sort of instance.
And if this was Donald Trump, he'd be straight on Twitter, wouldn't he? Ramping, pumping out the tweets one after the other.
We'd be on the 10th or 11th tweet by now,
yes,
I think.
Exactly. Has François Fillon been using social media to defend himself?
He has. I presume it's not.
Because he's not having a great time with the traditional media, is he?
No, he's not. He's not personally tweeting or using Facebook, but his people are. This is a photo from this afternoon after the latest series of revelations.
And these are the guys that we were talking about potentially stabbing him in the back.
And that photo was put up for a very good reason. He's saying, look, here I am being photographed with François Barouin, who is being put forward as somebody, or who is being rumoured as somebody who could replace me. So clearly, a united front is being put forward. That's François Barouin also being photographed there. And a quote from one journalist from Le Monde saying, there is no plan B. He was being referred to as the plan B. It's all finished, etc., etc. So the Fillon campaign on social media trying to put their best foot forward, tweeting images of crowds, adoring crowds, welcoming François Fillon, saying, allez, François, go, François. In other words, he is still receiving a lot of support from his base. But actually,
a lot of people have been having fun with it, though, haven't they?
But they have, and just the thing is, François Fillon community managers were clearly putting the camera in one direction, because elsewhere at the same event there were people shouting all insults at him, calling him a crook, saying pay the money back, and we also want 45,000 euros like Penelope. So he was also booed and had a certain amount of difficulty today. Now, you mentioned internet users having some fun with this.
Very quickly.
Here you have the Penelope IKEA
Yes.
armchair.
The IKEA chair.
In other words, not doing a huge amount of work. This is an image that François Fillon probably regrets having had taken of his manor house in the countryside. And somebody has set up a garden party at the Fillons on the eve of the French election on the 8th of May, saying, they've received a certain amount of money from the French taxpayer to the tune of 900,000 euros. That was the grand total sum paid to Penelope Fillon, according to the Canard Echaîné. So people saying, look, let's go and have a garden party chez eux. And finally, somebody saying Penelope Fillon received 20,000 euros to write up the excuses that her husband provided. This is satirical. So look, internet users really... having a
fun with this.
Having a certain amount of fun with it, and certainly
François Fillon not having so much fun.
Definitely not.
All right, but this election is really explosive already, isn't it,
certainly
James?
is.
Thanks very much indeed. James Queen in
Thanks,
there
Laura.
with Media Watch.